back to what will be another Sunstrider's Thoughts on. And after a little bit, I decided to just do the next part of the War of the Chosen. I'm gonna go into more detail about talking about War of the Chosen, so if you thought that my basic overview was not good enough, then get ready, because there's a lot to fucking talk about. I'll be doing this in stages. For, one, I'll talk about the enemies and the resistance, and then, maybe, just small nicks and knacks that don't really fit into a category. So, I have made myself a list of what I'm going to be talking about today, and that is the enemies. I'm going to give a more in-depth description of the enemies in War of the Chosen. So I'll just put my list down somewhere, as I actually have to focus on also playing the game at the same time here. Okay, I'll just put you there. Okay, so the first thing I want to do a basic overview of is the Chosen themselves. The Chosen themselves are sort of kind of like a low-key replacement for the Alien Rulers, because if you remember, if you have the Alien Rulers DLC installed, you will have random encounters where you have these big fucking OP-ass motherfuckers taking a turn whenever you take a turn. That's kind of annoying, but the Chosen sort of have taken their place. They're still there. They did not just completely get rid of them. They're just tweaked a bit. So the Alien Rulers now only show up if you attack their nest place, whatever the fuck it's called. And if you don't kill it there and it escapes, then it starts randomly encountering through missions. So, say you see the Viper King in it's not really a nest. Actually, the Alien Rulers will be assigned. I fucking can't remember, but I'm pretty sure it's they'll be assigned a facility to defend, and if you attack that facility, then they'll activate for real. And then if they escape said facility, then they will be open to annoy you on other missions, and thankfully, they will no longer take a turn every time you take a turn. So it's only certain things like attacking and maybe some abilities. And no longer just moving to trying to flank it will trigger it to ruler reaction or some bullshit like that. So no, that's not going to be a thing anymore, thank Christ. Because even though I have not played Alien Rulers yet, them taking a turn every time I take a turn just sounds fucking annoying. I'm not gonna fucking lie here. So yeah, so now the whole showing up at random and screwing over your squad comes down to the Chosen now. And the Chosen are interesting because they're not trying to kill your troops. They're trying to capture them to gain a resource called knowledge. And hey, what can I say? Knowledge is power, right? Which is pretty much just a fancy way of probably saying alien intel, let's be honest here. It just sounds like fucking alien intel to me. So, whatever. Take that as you will. It just sounds like alien intel to me. But, this is, hey officer, how you doing? This is a good change to me, because even though I don't play Alien Rulers, it's still, it sounds like a good change from what I've heard. And then the Chosen try to capture your soldiers to gain knowledge, aka alien intel, and they try to find the Avenger, and if they do find the Avenger, they trigger a new kind of defense mission, which is pretty much a retake of a Star Wars space battle where they try to shoot down the Avenger and take it over. So that's fun. And it's not going to replace the UFO defense mission. What the fuck? It's not going to replace the UFO defense mission. entirely, because the UFO defense mission is still going to exist. So if you like the UFO defense mission, that's not going to change. It's just going to be another type of defense mission on top of that. So that's going to be interesting. Anyway, you two are in prime frag grenading position, you fucking dumbasses. So that being said, what exactly do the Chosen do besides try to capture your soldiers? Because they're also going to be on the world map screen, the strategy layer, right? They're gonna like try to fuck up your operations in the actual strategy layer. That's gonna be fun. Excuse me, I'm talking like a mile a minute here. So they're going to like, my guess is that they're gonna like, you know, siphon supplies, maybe trigger some dark events to happen before they do, maybe have dark events of their own, maybe like and funny thing is, okay, nice job. The funny thing is that they're actually going to talk to you as you play the game. And they're gonna like fucking trash talk you and shit. It's like, okay. Fucking gonna trash talk, because I can trash talk with the best of them. Bring it on, motherfuckers. I am very intrigued of how that shit's gonna work. So, I mean, it's definitely going to add more life to the game. I mean, it's definitely going to be good. But, I just gotta wait and see. Okay. That's pretty much all I know on the Lost there. Oh, right. I have a note here. The sparks from the Shinslap's gift. Shinslap's gift. They're also getting a buff. So if you really wanted to use, if you were really hyped for the sparks, but were completely disappointed in their fucking like, in just their and their lack of being able to do anything, then now you have a fix. Because they're getting an aim buff, they're getting, I think, an HP buff, maybe. They're getting a lot of shit buffed, so they're gonna be fine. So yeah, I forgot to mention that, but overall, that's all I really have to say on The Lost. So that's that. The next thing I'm going to talk about is the alien units, because the aliens are getting, the Advent. There is another alien unit, which I am going to cover, but the Advent, they have a new trick up their sleeve, or a couple new tricks up their sleeve, actually. One is a priest who is a psionic soldier who can mind control. That's going to be fun. And he can mind control, and he can buff his friends. I did not mean to do that. I meant to Overwatch you, but alright. And and they are also said to have stasis, which is just great. That's just gonna be fucking amazing to deal with. So, that being said, I don't know how I'm gonna feel about this, depending on how, like, easy they can do this. You know, I want you to throw a grenade so you hopefully destroys cover. But, the priest is gonna be something. Maybe he can also have, and because he's called a priest, my guess is that he may have some sort of maybe psionic healing ability that he can use for his allies, because he's called a priest. Priests heal. Have you ever played World of Warcraft? Priests heal. So, I mean, it's gonna be It's gonna be a matter of time before we I'm not gonna jump up there when it's burning.
Scanners are clear. -15, we have a limited window to act before advent
But,
responds. We need to get those charges planted on the double.
there is definitely going to be some potential there with that new Advent unit. And the other Advent unit is called a Purifier, who has a flamethrower. How fitting, right? He has a flamethrower, and he is going to be mainly, I guess, a support unit for Advent. Because flamethrower, support unit, taking down, dealing with multiple enemies at once. That's what I kind of get from that. And that's going to be really annoying to deal with, because I've fought pyrotroopers in my non-YouTube playthrough that I'm playing right now, and they are so annoying. And if we have a seemingly pretty powerful Advent unit who is focused on fire, I can only guess that he also has incendiary grenades and all sorts of bullshit like that, so that's not going to be too great. And the other enemy I want to talk about is a completely separate quote-unquote faction. I say quote-unquote faction because if you remember in my brief overview video, I mentioned something called the Lost, which are zombies. These zombies are apparently from the original invasion. And remember those big green, weird pods in Enemy Within that would, spew gas everywhere and, cover civilians in this green guck? That's what she said. And apparently those civilians who fell victim to that green gunk, that's what she said, were turned into zombies. And these zombies now roam empty, abandoned cities. And sometimes, on certain missions, they will just be fucking everywhere. And these zombies are triggered by the sounds of explosives, and I guess the sounds of battle, but I only saw explosives, so I don't know, maybe useless grenades on missions with them in. And these guys will attack both Xcom and Advent/Alien units. That is definitely interesting to me. Being able to maybe forcefully trigger the Lost and end up having everybody be fucking attacked by them and have a big old shit show going on. And it's oh god, zombies everywhere. Everybody's going insane. So, that's gonna be interesting, and our rangers are fucking gravely wounded, that's right. And, oh hey look, Jack's going back to his roots. And fucking crazy everything everywhere, and the Lost also have a new mechanic called a headshot mechanic, and apparently it's a random chance to get a headshot when you're shooting a Lost. If you get a headshot when you shoot the Lost, it won't cost an action. I don't know if that's how it works. I mean, it could work something different. That's just based on what I've read and watched in my research. Oh boy. And I don't care, Bradford. Shut up. Shut up, Bradford. Shut the fuck up. So that's going to be interesting, and I did say something about Lost being on certain missions, which brings me to a new... whoops, didn't mean to do that. Which brings me to my next point, which is map changes, considering that they take so much into consideration, and I know it's not part of enemies. The video would normally be over by now, but I just want to add in these map changes because the Lost connect to these map changes. The map changes is different in layout. You can have littered full of explosives. You can have the Lost in the area, You can have a completely swarming with only Lost in the area. And you can have the special 3-man missions where you can only take 3 people in them. You can only take 3 people, and I wanted to build the gremlin, but alright. And it's gonna be interesting seeing how that works. So, I mean, I have no idea, obviously. We have Aslia, Dirk, and Officer. Okay. So, that's pretty much all I have to talk about in terms of the enemies. It's definitely going to be interesting seeing how it turns out in terms of what they do, exactly will they work, and where will these new enemies show up, and all that stuff. So that being said, hopefully you guys enjoyed the videos. That's it for today. Next time I will be talking about the changes to the Resistance, as the 3 factions, and what's going to become of them based on my research. So hopefully you guys enjoyed the videos. Stay tuned for more. I'm out. Peace.